Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Football Fallout. This is all for tight ends, week 15 of the NFL and fantasy football season. I run through quickly the top 10 projected scores, who actually scored in the top 10, how does that relate to the rest of everybody's playoff run out there and daily fantasy, and then also we give our award for the Kicked in the Nuts award. Somebody got me in the balls. I'm sure somebody got you in the balls, so we give you that award out. And by the way, if somebody did, please comment on the video. I'd love hearing about that, hearing those stories. We also give you our top waiver plays. There's still some value out there, so if your rosters are not locked for the playoffs and you can still pick people up, I have some suggestions for you for week 15. But let's just get going here with the top 10 projected tight end scores for week 14. It was George Kittle, Travis Kelce, Zach Ertz, who has not played yet. This is aired before the Monday Night Football game. Austin Hooper, Darren Waller, Hunter Henry, Mark Andrews, Kyle Rudolph, Jared Cook, and Hayden Smith, and that's based on basically Evan Ingram and Rhett Ellison being out for the New York Giants. Now, who actually scored in the top 10? The ones in white were the ones ESPN got correct. Noah Fant, Jared Cook, number 2 tight end, by the way, and he only played like 3/4 of a quarter, so 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. It was going to be a monster game for him. Hayden Hurst, Tyler Higbee, George Kittle, Travis Kelce, Ian Thomas, Cameron Brate, Nick O'Leary, and Hunter Henry. Now, who kicked me in the nuts? The Kicked in the Nuts award, I can tell you, Austin Hooper. Wow, man. I'm sure fantasy owners were just pumped that he was going to be back for the playoffs. I'm sure a lot of fantasy owners played him out there because he's been so consistently good, and he just laid an egg. What can you say? I mean, he's been so good throughout the season. You can't be really too upset, and this is what happens in the playoffs, man. Sometimes, a guy like Nick O'Leary outscores Austin Hooper, and if you look at that matchup on paper, you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to pick up like 5 to 10 points at least in this matchup, and then wouldn't you know it, Nick O'Leary outscores him. So I know a lot of people got kicked out there. I think Jared Cook could have had this award because of how well he was playing, and then he gets injured, but at least he gave a lot of people productivity out there. And then Mark Andrews is another one. He got injured early, and then you saw Boyle and Hayden Hurst both caught touchdowns. Ugh, what a mess. Anyway, let's get to the waiver wire selections here. These are going to move, and I'm going to clean this up, and I'm going to have an optimized list based on specifically Week 15 streams. This is more, for the rest of the season. I like these guys as value based on the teams they play on and the systems and so on. Best waiver wire tight ends in order. Tyler Higbee owned in 8.5% of the leagues. It looks like he scored well twice in a row. Gerald Everett's banged up. It seems like he's vaulted Gerald Everett in the depth chart, so I like him. Jacob Hollister, I like the offense. He hasn't caught a touchdown in a couple of weeks, but Russell Wilson likes to look in his direction in the red zone. Jonnu Smith, who as Tannehill plays and as Jonnu Smith basically with Delaney Walker on the injured reserve, Jonnu Smith has kind of taken over this role. Now, Ferkser or whoever the backup tight end there is in Tennessee also gets some opportunities, but Jonnu Smith is the guy, and he's playing pretty well. Jack Doyle, another candidate, by the way, for the Kicked in the Nuts award, had like 7 targets or something like that. In a 31-point output for Indianapolis. He was non-existent. It was wild, but I still think he definitely has value moving forward into the season. Noah Fant, now that he has a quarterback that looks like he can distribute the ball very well for the Denver Broncos, I like him. And then Ryan Griffin, I know he didn't play so well last week, but Sam Darnold, he'll be able to get the ball, and Sam Darnold was kind of up and down and injured, I should say. He was on the injury report a lot in the last week or so. I think Ryan Griffin, towards the end of the season, he'll find the end zone a little bit more as well. So there you go. There's a pretty quick, down and dirty fantasy football fallout for the tight end position. Once again, please out there, everybody, comment. Let me know who got you, who really disappointed you this week, who kicked you in the nuts. I'd love to hear about it. We do videos for running backs, quarterbacks, wide receivers, and defense and special teams, so check one of those videos out as well. We'll be back with optimized waiver wire lists based on basically fantasy football analytics. RoccoBot is going to be up and running tomorrow, so I will republish basically a full position waiver list to let you know who the primary guys for streaming for Week 15, your playoff matches. And then, thanks for everybody for watching. Check us out soon.